Hello, everyone. Hello, Sasha. Oh, shouldn't interrupt her. Sasha likes to come in my room. She knows what time I wake up now. It's amazing to me. She knows times of day. I'm keeping quiet because my roommates are asleep. The Christmas lights are up. This is not a Christmas feast. This is actually my lunch I'm making for tomorrow. Oh yeah, check out the apartment. Got my office hours, refrigerator magnets, and one I got on Redbubble. Got my limes. Amazing how limes from a tree that grows by here are so much smaller than the ones in stores. You see like the genetic modifications and stuff. These grapefruits, this asshole, probably way bigger than like a non-genetically hermetically sealed grapefruit. And I don't even know if all the genetic modifications are bad. I'm just saying it's noticeable. Like, I see you. You're on notice. Take a look at the living room that I barely use. Get an actual light in here. Cat used to like hanging out in that more. Now she will literally go up to the doorknob and reach up and start batting at the doorknob when she hears me waking up in my room. TV I barely ever use except when I'm high. And yeah, that's it. And you got the little patio, and I want to get out of West LA, and not West LA. I like West LA. I want to get, I don't know, it's just the neighborhood is not great laid out. Also, all this bare floor, it's like there should be delineations between the rooms and everything, but I'm trying to be quiet because my roommates are sleeping. It's 6:30 in the morning. I've been up for like 3 hours. I just get up super early, reflecting on a lot lately. Hello. Hello, everyone. Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker, greatest screenwriter in the history of the world, recovering hobo. I've been doing a lot of writing lately. It is emotionally kind of harrowing. Not anything specific, like writing a specific scenario in a story is like emotionally wrenching. It's just the process of writing, of like releasing all this tension in me. It's a lot. And it's great, and it's like I want to do right by the characters in the story. I want to write the characters in the story. So first thing here, all my Trader Joe's ingredients. Let's see if I can keep this from falling over. I'm going to cut up these bell peppers. Very healthy food. I've been shopping mostly at Trader Joe's lately. It's cool. I like that they don't have a whole lot of ingredients, like a whole lot of foods. And that sounds weird, but what I mean is they don't have like a bunch of different versions of one type of spice or one type of food. Because that to me is so wasteful, and it's not really for anyone's benefit other than the capitalist exploiters who make this stuff so they can extract money from us and from their employees. People out there unionize. We need to take over our, let's make this the year we smash capitalism. Take over our workplaces and share in the profits that our labor is creating. I've been bulking up a little bit lately. I kind of don't like it. It's partly because I'm worried I had a COVID exposure. Like somebody around me tested positive for COVID, so I'm like, oh crap. I'm eating extra, like a surplus of calories, so that my immune system is like going strong. And so far, I'm not having symptoms, and I tested negative the other day, but I'm going to test again this week. every week. This is a ritual for me. Wash the bell peppers, cut them up in a bag, so I got them every day for my chicken salad that I make for lunch every day. This neighborhood I'm in, it's like, it's alright. It's nothing like particularly heinous about it. The architecture is heinous. It's like all car centric. You know, I don't even hang out in this neighborhood. It's like too depressing. I'll go ride my bike to Culver City or closer to Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey, somewhere, and like hang out in places like that where it's like more hospitable for people. Bad thing about all these areas is they're incredibly expensive to live in, and it's like this dystopian place. It's like gentrified, and it's like you see the people who are actually keeping it running, the laborers, the landscapers, the trash collectors. I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Man? Like, why are we making it possible? You know they can't afford to live in these areas. Crap. I got distracted and seeds popped out everywhere. But anyways, it's, you know, a lot of things between workers, tenants who should be able to live decent lives, and man, and the architecture of the area, which should be more hospitable to people, not cars. You look around West LA, it mostly looks like a bunch of cars live around here, not people. Actually, wait a minute, am I in West LA? No, I'm in a different neighborhood now. I was in West LA when I was living with that awful Hungarian woman, Gabriela Bahuni. I'm trying to make my life better at least, and make other people's lives better. The stories I'm writing, it is amazing to be able to write now with all the tools I've learned in my writing classes for the last 2 years. Because now, my hair's getting in my face, my mouth. Now, I gotta wear a hairband or hairnet. When I write, it's so much more productive now, but it is like, it's not painful in a way, it's just this like incredibly intense experience. It's good, like I love doing it. Yeah, just like I feel like, oh, I have an obligation to these characters to get the story right, and to the audience, to not disrespect the audience and their time. But I don't feel it as pressure. I'm like, oh good, I'm putting so much pressure on myself to get this right. And I've seen movies that just stop at where the script I've gotten at now is, or the story design. I haven't even written a script yet. And I'm like, okay, so it's already, with just like one draft of the outline, it's come so far. Whereas before I would spend years before I could even outline a draft. And I'm like, good, now I'm figuring this out. And there are a lot of, especially as the latter half of the story arrives, it's got a lot of weak spots, and it feels like clay being just jammed into the gaps in the design of this story to fill it in. I'm like, it's not working. This machine's not going to run. But I've got plenty more writing to do to figure this out. So I'm making good progress. This is, when it feels like it's not supposed to go this way, it's supposed to go this way. Is the irony. I'm not talking about what your clothes are like when you get the wrinkles out. I'm gonna eat a whole lot of bell peppers this week. Load it up on them because I want all the nutrients. I want to be really healthy. I always dread cutting the bell peppers. In my mind, it's always gonna, I imagine it's gonna take like 3 hours. Been rereading the novel Heat 2 by Michael Mann and Mike Gardner. It's so great. I'm rereading it to understand its story better and how it's designed so well to help influence my story I'm writing. And all the stuff I thought was so incredibly complicated the first time I read it, I'm like, oh, it's so simple now. Like now I can see the layout and I can sort of like reverse engineer how they thought of this story. I'm like, oh, I can do that for my stories now. So I'm reading that, watching movies. I mean, trying to be clear with myself of what I even want from this story in the first place. Because that is something like, yeah, I got to clarify that because that's giving me problems, and that's why I'm trying to. It feels like trying to put all this clay or something to fix all these weak spots in this like machine that should be made of metal, but I'm just trying to like mold this clay in there, and I'm like, oh, that's not going to work. People are going to know that's not metal. That's not steel. Like coffee from Trader Joe's as well, instant coffee. Chicken, Trader Joe's, about 180 grams. I'll give my lunch. Uh-oh, air got to this, kind of dried out. Can't believe how much of my life I didn't know good nutrition. How embarrassing. Didn't know how much protein I needed. And there was probably a year of my life in Annandale where I had almost no protein. Because I didn't even know. I'm like, food's food, right? And I was broke and depressed as hell. So I was just eating rice and beans every day for a year. Literally almost every day. So not every, I know there was like a day or two I did, but I literally ate it for like nearly every day for a year for lunch and dinner to save money. Writing is wrenching. It's like it releases so much tension in me in a way. It's like overwhelming but good. I can almost like feel like my eyes watering in a way. Not because I'm emotional about any scenes I'm writing. It's just the whole experience of like getting to do this thing. I don't know how to describe it. Paprika. Forget, is it smoked paprika? It's ground paprika. That would be healthy as shit. Garlic powder. it's about, how much? About 45 grams of protein or so, more than that, probably around 50 grams of protein. Trader Joe's Sriracha. How can I forget? I got goat cheese. It's a very soft cheese. I miss being in Koreatown, my Koreatown place. I had to go. It had its time, but I love the apartment. I didn't love the experiences I had in there necessarily with the alcoholic, cocaine addicted person, and living too close to people, and the girl who was just terrorizing us to the day she left. But man, it was an awesome, like physically, like it was awesome and beautiful, and we were in a great location. It's like the most dense part of LA. It's Koreatown, where it actually feels kind of like a city. There's like lots of buses, there's the metro down the street, there's lots of curbside shops, lots of independent shops, little markets, little corner stores, lots of restaurants. Not that I went out to well, I did go out to restaurants a lot, but for like breakfast. I can't believe, I go to sleep at 7 o'clock at night, most nights. Like, because I get up so early. I don't even know what people do out at night anymore. And I'm just trying to write my stories. And that gives me a lot of confidence writing, because I'm like, yeah, I'll have the time to get out and all that. It feels a little lonely sometimes. Not being alone, it's just like I'm choosing to do this thing that's on this other path. And lots of people choose things like that, or have jobs where they can't get out much, or like me, they were just broke for so long and couldn't. I like Roma tomatoes because they don't go, it takes a while before they go bad. Or if they get a little part that goes bad, you can just cut it off like that. But haven't been seeing people much lately. Also, I just realized, I don't know what it is, just getting older, I literally don't like parties. And it's not that I think they're bad or anything, I just can't stand shouting to talk to people. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't like the feel of conversation when everything is shouted, because it automatically has to like bring everything up so positive in a weird way, like, hey, how's it going, man? This is awesome. Hey, what's up? You good? Hey, what are you drinking? Like, I don't like doing that. I just realized, like, I'm done doing that. I so much more enjoy. I would prefer if at a party everybody could, like, one at a time, meet each other quietly in the corner or in a closet or something, and just quiet, like, hello, like, are you, like, have topics to discuss, and then you could just move on to the next person if you want. That would be more pleasant to me. Again, nothing bad about it. I just realized, like, especially I was at this after party for a rollerblading event, and I just realized I can't stand it. It wasn't anything disliking anything that was going on. I just realized I'm like, this is not for me. I don't like being in loud spaces where you're supposed to have fun. I'd rather be writing. I felt a little bad for that one, for like ditching it. I was like, yeah, I got to. But also it was good in that, for me when I was younger, being at parties was like, I was always hoping my life would get better somehow. I'd escape from my desperate, lonely existence. And now it's not an escape for me. I'm like right where I want to be, even when I'm having pain. And I know my writing is going to transport me to a lot of better things, and I'm not even trying to rush my writing career. I'm not going to be like, oh, I have one script, let me show it to people. No, I want like 5 great scripts, and I want to work really hard at them for like a year, and then people will wonder, well, easy for you to say, Angelo, like your career's going good, you're doing things like you can just write great scripts. I'm like, I trained for like 7 years to do this, to make it look easy. And also I have the integrity to know not to show people my scripts before they're great. I mean, to try and sell them. Yes, show them to people to test them out when you're still working on them and trying to improve them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't get me confused about that. Don't confuse me. Done with the cutting board. Oh shit. And let's make LA more livable and people friendly and have quality housing for everybody and quality food and medicine and medical care. Just good food, that would reverse so many health problems and prevent so many health problems. And rebuild LA to do away with a lot of the car-centric infrastructure and get people out of their cars and onto trains, on their feet, on buses, on their wheelchairs. On bikes, and make LA a place people want to move around in. I mean, how many people even want to be on the road with other people? How many of you or yourselves are raging at people, cutting people off? I've been in plenty of people's cars who do that. I'm like, oh, you're the kind of person who does this. And I don't respect that. I don't respect them. And then you give them a 2 to 4 or 6 ton force multiplier, a vehicle, basically a house on wheels, that makes them feel more emboldened and antisocial. And this is the way we have to get around, and you'll get a situation like what we have now, with hundreds of deaths a year in LA, thousands of crashes, tons of gridlock, congestion, people stressing out on the road, road rage, people killing each other, not just like deaths, like accidents, but murdering. Bad air quality, and just the bad feel of like, there's a kind of violence to the danger of cars passing by. Like you realize, oh, you can't go onto the street. It's not for you. It's for these massive steel and rubber vehicles and glass, for them just to pass through. Like you live here, or you're trying to just experience things, just be on your feet, and cars are passing through. Like they don't want to be here. They just want to keep driving through. And that's partly because the land use is bad and we're spread so far apart. And we could build more for local, like the benefit of people already there, so you can live somewhere and shop there and have like places like parks and spaces where you don't have to spend money, libraries, all that kind of thing, as opposed to now we built things so far apart because we were convinced cars would be able to get us everywhere, and we got the result we asked for, which is some of the worst traffic in the world. I still maintain traffic in DC, or the DC area in Northern Virginia, is worse. I don't know. Maybe that's just, I haven't been around enough of LA. Not sure. Dan, this coffee's getting cold. I've been talking too much. Oh, did I just put on a southern accent? No, I've just been talking too much. Some kind of accent. Watching too many movies with like southern settings or characters. I was watching some of, what was it? Mississippi Burning. Oh, it's too hot. Make Ezekiel bread. One reason I love Ezekiel bread, other than it's got like great quality ingredients and stuff, is no added sugar. It's almost impossible to find good bread without added sugar in it. Trader Joe's mustard. This is what Pissman's mustard actually is. They put the Pissman's mustard label over Trader Joe's mustard. Never enough time in the day. I do feel pangs of loneliness at times, especially when I'm lying down and kind of, falling asleep, which I can do pretty quickly, and just sort of reflecting on the day. I'm like, yeah, kind of. It's a bittersweet thing because it's like, well, I'm choosing the life I want. I could do other things with my life, but I want to keep my sanity, not go out at parties too much, and I want to do a lot of writing, and that will afford me a lot of things like making movies when I will be around people more. And by the way, being around people too, you can get tired of it quickly. So it's not inherently that. It's, having good relationships with people. And right now I'm just choosing to write a lot. I knew this whole Christmas weekend I'd want to do a lot of writing. I'm going to be doing it for the next probably a year at least before I start bringing my scripts out and showing them to places I want to try and get them made or sell them. But we'll see. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. Trader Joe's turkey and sauerkraut. I always like putting either pickles or sauerkraut. This has pickles in it. On sandwiches at lunch. I'm going to have this as a snack. Again, tomorrow. I'm not working today, so I'm just going to put the mustard on. I forgot the mustard. I brought it out, but I didn't use it. I like how Trader Joe's doesn't have as much of that capitalist waste as other stores where they have like dozens of types of each product. And it's like, why? Is that really efficiency? Oh, capitalism's efficiency. No. It's a ton of waste product, ton of carbon emissions for these industries and the shipping. Great, I got like half the mustard on the Tupperware container I missed. The plastics to wrap most of these products up. And for what? It's for the healthy stuff. Most of it's not much healthier than any other type of the same food. Or in the case of like a lot of the snacks, the what do do you call them? I even forget processed foods like cookies and cakes, pies, potato chips, cheese. What do you call them? Cheetos? Cheese poofs? Cheese doodles? Like, how ridiculous is that we have all this nonsense when all you need is, like, just make one kind of cheese snack. You good? Stop with the waste. So I actually appreciate that about Trader Joe's. I hate these gigantic stores, 5,000. One thing I will say, okay, that's good to have a variety of the prepackaged dinners, frozen dinners. All right, you got me there. And speaking of that, I'll show you something that I have from Trader Joe's. Chicken shawarma, chicken burrito bowl, Cuban style citrus garlic bowl. Chicken is bananas or plantains, are really good. These are awesome. It's falafel, dill pickle mini falafels. Put salmon on those, or tuna. Have some protein on those. Sun's coming up, finally. 7 o'clock. I ate my breakfast like 2.5 hours ago. So already at 7, I'm getting ready to have my first or my second meal. Actually, I kind of should because I didn't work out. My workout ended about an hour ago. And, is it really an hour? And I should, eat something at some point. Even though I don't feel that hungry. But I don't have to have a big meal. I love these things at Trader Joe's. Cauliflower slings. 9 grams of protein in 2 slices of them. 5 grams of fat, 3 grams of carbs. By the way, I want fats, I want carbs. I'm not bragging like, oh, it's so low in carbs, low in fat. I'm mainly just glad it's high in protein. It's made from cauliflower, eggs, Parmesan cheese. It's mainly deactivated yeast. They're kind of expensive. It's like $4 for 4 of these in here. I already ate 2 of them. But they're really good for I really like them instead of bread because they have more protein in them for my second meal. I just like the kind of texture. They don't have much taste to them, but so what am I going to have? I know what I'll do. I'll synthesize. I have some salmon left over and rice and my eggs. I'll just have some egg whites. All my ingredients, by the way, I carry them on my bike home. I have my backpack, and I usually have a tote bag as well. And I just put the tote bag on my shoulder. The straps are always falling off. And I just ride it home. And I never cook anything on the stove. So I have this for my eggs. Actually, I'll put the salmon in here too. So I'm going to microwave the eggs in this little thing. Let's do the egg whites. I was eating the egg yolks for a while, but I'm trying not to now. I don't know how it really affects my cholesterol, but My cholesterol was really good at my last physical. I want to keep it that way, and why not? And there's something interesting about being at my age now, 38, having all this time in my past to reflect on, of being poor, of trying to conserve everything, of not trying to spend yet, keep money for later. And it's weird, I'm like, oh, at some point I'm gonna want to spend my money. And so I've been a little bit less hesitant about just getting the stuff that I need. I'm not trying to spend a lot extra. I have, unfortunately, just eating out. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of an unfulfilling experience to keep eating out and spend all that money. So I've been more going through phases where I'm like, well, what do I really want from the grocery store? What nice thing do I want to eat that's healthy? Whatever it is. So that includes the cauliflower slims, shadies, because I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Wait till I'm like 45 to finally eat these? Thankfully, I have money, I have savings. I keep my spending low otherwise, relatively. I mean, geez, rent, that's a lot. But what I'm saying is, I don't have a car, don't have kids, don't have major other spending obligations, don't have a girlfriend or a wife or a boyfriend. But let's see, I want more salmon. A little more in there. How much do I have? Egg whites, and that's like maybe 20 grams of salmon. And now I got 9 grams of protein in those slim things. I'll keep it low, sort of low for now, and I'll keep feeding protein throughout the day. I've been eating more than I wanted lately, and again, that's partly, well, the reason for that is someone I know tested positive for COVID. They got sick, and I'm like, in case I did get infected with it, and I don't have symptoms yet, and I tested negative so far, but I'll test again this week. I want to be upping my calorie intake so that I can best fight off an infection. I've been losing weight too. It's like, oh damn, I want to keep cutting, but I'm like, well, now's not the time to worry about that, right? And it kind of messes up my stomach to eat more and all that. I don't like the feeling, but whatever. Gotta do it. I'm gonna keep these up too. Oh, and I got this nice hot sauce from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna stay calm, go easy on myself, all that. The writing, I don't know how to, it's not that it's stressful. It's not that writing stresses me at all. I don't like calling it painful, because writing used to be painful for me. It's not. It just, I don't know how to describe it other than writing is a lot for me. It's a release of a lot of tension, and I know I'm always pushing myself to the edges of my abilities when I write. So it always feels like pushing this line further beyond which I don't think, and it's not that I don't think, I know I can, but like I know I'm reaching the limits of my skills, and I gotta keep pushing and pushing, and it's just a lot to experience. So turned on the other light here. Oh, the other thing I don't like about stuff, so many different like different brands for the same product in grocery stores. It's just so expensive for us, for everybody, for society in all ways. Long-term cost, short-term cost for the people buying the food, cost to us, to our health, to our roads, to our air quality. I like to keep the power on the microwave low when I'm heating up eggs so they don't explode in that case. But that means I have to cook them longer and longer. And at some point I get my hair cut. I'd actually just prefer to have it buzzed. The thing I don't like is when I buzz it, you have to keep getting it buzzed regularly, otherwise it starts looking real sloppy. I'm like, whatever, just let it grow long. And it's, yeah, partly just experiencing it, having longer hair. At some point I'll get it styled better. Also, I've saved hundreds of dollars not getting my hair cut last year. It's last year. Okay. I heard something explode, but it's not even done yet. Boy, I'm so excited. I'm not even gonna have a chance to whatever. I was gonna add something else to the meal, keep it simple for now, add the calories throughout the day. Give it a few more seconds. I guess fear is the thing that comes up in my writing that troubles me. There's always, even if it's a tiny, minuscule fear that the next word I'll write, the next thing I'll write will break the story or will not be progress, or I'll have disrespected myself by like, oh, coming up with some cheap solution for something. So I'm always knowing, design your own writing process to find the best way to develop the story. And that means never going easy on myself. It doesn't mean it's hard on myself. It's like literally anything, like a workout or something. Use your best form. Go at it with the right mindset. Have your mind in the workout, in the muscle. That's kind of what it's like. And I'm confident. I'm going to go out with like 5 great scripts and the ability to write many more. Because I'm just holding myself to such a high standard, and I know what I like in movies, and I'm studying to understand better and better what I like and dislike. And I'm like, oh, I get what would excite other people about a movie. It's not a mystery. It's not like, how do I get an agent? How do I get a script sold? I'm going to be like, I'll write to such a high standard and to what I know like would excite people that they'll want to. It doesn't even matter at that point. I'm not concerned about it, but those things will have their place. And I'm not even concerned beyond just my writing. Merry Christmas from Arizona, indeed, Cindy. Does Arizona border Los Angeles? I forget. I mean, not Los Angeles. What am I talking about? California. Writing is from the heart. I love when a writer shows his personality through the book. Hey, that's awesome. I'm rereading Heat 2 right now. Oh, man, it is so good rereading it. I can never get back that feeling, that incredible like spell it took hold of me, over me when I first read it, because I had no clue what to expect. Now that I know, I still love it, but I'm seeing, it's like almost like in a movie where you put a spotlight on like one horizontal strip, and like as it goes through each paragraph, I see, oh, the story's turning. This was designed this way. This was designed to be compelling, to push forward the story, to give the characters, like, oh shit, I forgot to put these in the, I wanted to put these in the thing that, the microwave to heat them up. I can heat up this one. This one I don't want to mess with now. But the way the story's built and the story world to give the characters the most compelling scenarios and conflict to go through, and the way it's pushing through their philosophies of how they live their life. Like everything's been carefully selected and designed, almost like cut out, like stamped out of, like if you just had a collage of different story elements, like take this one, like a stamp, take this one, take this one, stamp it out, and design it, and it just looks like this one flawlessly working machine. Heat 2 does that, and good stories do that in general. I'll just heat up. I don't want to make a mess with this other one, but I'll at least heat up this one. I got so excited. So Heat 2 does that extremely well. I've been reading Sherlock Holmes, The Adventures of, or Complete Sherlock Holmes Volume 2. I like it, but it's like, oh, I understand now how everything's supposed to piece together. The way when Sherlock hears the conundrum of like some mystery someone's trying to solve, I'm like, oh, I see Arthur Conan Doyle selecting out like this path for the story where all the pieces are going to come together. And I enjoy it, but it's a different experience from the volume 1, where one, maybe the quality of the mysteries were better, because I read a lot of stuff about how like Volume 2 isn't necessarily as good as Volume 1, and some story elements are repeated, and Conan Doyle didn't necessarily want to write this stuff, but he was basically being pressured to because the first volume was so successful. It wasn't a volume back then, it was just like a series of stories he was doing. And for whatever reason, maybe, and it wasn't just like obligation, maybe he did love the character and want to keep writing him. But I know there's a lot of writing about that where it's like, well, he didn't really want to, he wanted to write other stuff, but the readers of the Strand magazine were so outraged that he killed off Sherlock Holmes, and they canceled their subscriptions, and eventually he just realized he wanted to keep writing them. But it's weird, it's like, oh, now I sort of see it's like I see the different pieces of the orchestra coming together when I'm seeing the story. And so they're not, so far at least, I've only read like 3 or 4 of Volume 2. They're not as like mesmerizing. In fact, they're not that, like, they're not bad. I appreciate them. It just, so far I haven't been like wowed as far as like, oh, this is amazing. I'm like, yeah, I know. Everything's gonna be like turned upside down by something. Sherlock Holmes is gonna seem to have an impossible mystery to solve. Partly the mysteries I'm reading so far, like they're not that meaningful. It's like, yeah, they're like good, like mystery gags. Like, oh, that was a surprise. Oh, the person's hiding in the walls. Oh, this person, they have some, long lost enemy back in America, and it's followed them to here, and they're writing in code and all that. But yeah, it's like I recognize the pattern in a way, but that's good too. I'm learning from that to see what I like and dislike and how it can be built on. And no writing is wasted. That's one thing that's helped me so much, is like I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna write something bad. It's like if you write something bad, first of all, it can still be pretty interesting, and second of all, you'll learn. Like it like leaves an imprint in me that kind of like it's like pushing down on the ground to create a path to go through somewhere. I'm like, oh, the path is becoming more clear. I got too excited. My eggs fell in my pants. On my shorts. But that, and I have some more John le Carré spy novels to read, some Smiley novels. And I have The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. I want to read that. I've seen the movie with Richard Burton, which is fantastic. Richard Burton is so intense as this spy who's just like fed up with his career. He's like fed up with being used as a pawn for the British government, fed up with the double crossing, the killing. Not that he personally kills people, but what he's doing is working to get Russians or East Germans or whoever for the communists killed. Anyways, and I was thinking too with my writing, just as it was taking a leak, how it's like flying in a way. It's like gaining momentum, being picked up, taken off the ground. It's a thrill, but also you have to constantly keep the right form and posture. Not that I'm gonna like crash while writing in whatever way that metaphor would work. Like just arrive at a terrible moment. Never. It's just you realize like you're piloting something, and you're keep moving. You're continuously moving. And yeah, just that's how I think about it. Another way to think about it, it is like rollerblading, not like riding a bike. Riding a bike, you can almost be on autopilot in a lot of ways. Rollerblading, at least for me at my skill level right now, takes a lot of coordination, some courage, because each time I'm like, oh crap, do I have my skills? I'm like, should I be better now than last time? I'm like, oh wait, I am better than last time. It's just I don't notice it, because each time I ride and I get more skilled, and then I get used to that skill level, and I see how all the how much further I have to go, and in the smaller spaces of where like smaller sets of skills, how much bigger those seem to me now that I get closer to them, and how much work I have to do and mental dedication to master them. And I even skipped out on rollerblading. An event I wanted to do recently, I'm like, no, I'm gonna write. Also wanted to give my body a break. And I wasn't eating, like I said, I was cutting, losing some weight, lost a few pounds, gaining some muscle at the same time, but now I'm like, I better just keep in a calorie surplus in case I got COVID, to best fight it off. I'm assuming I didn't, I don't think I did, but I'm doing it in case. I don't like bulking up right now. I'd rather be cutting. But it's for a good cause, and yeah, I can cut later, no big deal. That's the great thing about having a knowledge of how to diet. If I say I want to lose a few pounds, I know immediately how to do it and keep my nutrition right, and measure my food out and enjoy my food. It's like no big deal. It's not like this miserable struggle. It's not guesswork. I'm not starving. I'm hungry. Yeah, you are hungry, but it's like I know how to make a friend of hunger and know that my metabolism is utilizing the nutrition I'm getting, as opposed to before when I would diet, I would just starve myself like a maniac because I didn't know what to. I was like, well, I don't know when I'm losing weight or not. Now I know. It's like if I'm feeling hungry, I'm losing weight. There you go. Turn that off. Actually, I like having it on. I'm gonna walk out now. Let's see. Where's the cat? Oh, wait, hold on. Cats are happy when they close their eyes like this, right? This is my roommate's cat, Sasha. She very confident around people. She doesn't like dart out the door when you open the door, so that's cool. And she likes coming in my room. She knows when I'm here in the morning. She knows when I wake up. I guess she hears me. I don't know if she can just like she just expects each morning, but she literally will reach up to the doorknob. Where's the doorknob? It's kind of blocked by my jackets. And she will bat at the doorknob with her paws. And she's very confident with people. She doesn't like go. She didn't when I moved in. She didn't like go up to me and immediately rub herself all over me like other cats I've lived with have when I moved in somewhere. She like just does her own thing, but then she does go up to people when she wants to be around them. She's happy when her tail's wagging like that. You can hear her growling or purring. She can hear my roommate like walking in the hall now. I can hear him walking. She's kind of turning around, and if she wants food, because he'll put out food for her, she won't be like uh, you should just let me. She sort of makes aware that she wants to get out of the room. She'll like look at the door, but she's not like super eager to do anything. She's like relaxed. Yeah, you can hear her purring. So I've got to get writing. Look, to prove I'm reading Heat 2. Look, see the bookmarks halfway through the book. See my sunscreen covered hands uh, smudges on this, and I don't know what other kind of oils I secrete from my body. And I should get going. I gotta write. So Story's not going to write itself. It's an important story to me, a big one, a powerful one, and I really have a strong idea of the characters, but I want to get a stronger idea of them. And it's like I want to do right by the characters. Like they deserve a story that's going to be the best story for who they are. And that partly means adjusting things about the characters to create a story world for them and a story world for the characters and a plot for them to go through and like a thematic argument or unifying principle and the different philosophies they all have about this one thing. I'm like, oh, I kind of dropped the ball, and not dropped the ball. It makes it seem like I did something wrong. It's I haven't fully realized all that. Oh, and she likes playing with string at the end of my bed. Yeah, she's trying to like find some string, hangs off one of my blankets, and she doesn't know it's not there right now because it's all moved out of the way. Oh shit, my face. Yes, here. There, she loves chewing on the string. It's very stimulating for her. She loves doing that. And don't let them swallow the string or anything, but fortunately she's good about it. She'll just chew that same string for a while. I read it's like stimulating for cats mentally. It's like a puzzle or something or a game. I don't know if it cleans their teeth too or what. And physically stimulating. No, no, no! Don't try and chew it off the. Oh Jesus! Okay, wait. Oh Sasha, okay. Gotta help her get this out of her mouth. Make sure it's not in her mouth. Oh, it's not stuck in there. She was just chewing. She was just biting on it with excessive force. Here. I was worried it was like wrapped around her tooth or something. She seemed like she was freaking out, but no, she just was chewing it so hard. She like lost track of time. And she will literally go under here looking for like places to hide. Let's see, she may want to go out. No, guess not. All right. I'm trying to follow a rule that Neil Gaiman has talked about for himself when he's writing, which is when he's writing, and he writes by hand and then transcribes it to a computer, which I've done some of, but I also, and it's in a way it's like somehow easier to do more writing when I do that, and I like the challenge of it of thinking of the exact thing I need to write it because it takes more effort to write by hand than type at the computer. But he has a rule where he says he can, when he's sitting at his whatever computer or his notebook, his journal that he's writing in, and he writes with fountain pens. He says his rule is he can either write or he can do nothing, but he cannot do anything else. I'm like, that's a great rule. That makes it easier and it makes it realistic. Like a rule so that it's not like I only can write. I can never get away from it. I can stop and do nothing, but I cannot do anything else. And for me, that just means like surfing the internet, looking up stupid like comedy clips. I don't like to call them stupid. Like there are stupid clips and there are comedy clips of videos. Hold on. Excuse me. That's too easy to get distracted by. So that's what I'm going to try and do now. Write or do nothing. I'm not going to do anything else. Or first I'll look at the internet a little bit and then write. But anyways, thanks for watching everyone. Shout out to all my homeless viewers out there. You all are going through something so real, and I was homeless for years, and it was a profound experience. I'm going to charge my phone. And I want to do more videos. Really, I should have done some over the last 3 days, but I just wanted to do a ton of writing and reading. So my cat is, or my roommate's cat is now, yeah, she likes to rub her face against the trash edge of the trash bag on the wastebasket. Whoop, up shorts shot. But yeah, I'm going to do a lot of writing. So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.